Good evening, everybody.
The meeting will please come to order. Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Today is Thursday, September the 16th. My name is Trippy Congo, President of City Council. I would also like to thank those who are in the City Council chambers with us. Just as a reminder for public comment, there is a Google form sign-up link in the chat for anyone who is virtual who would like to speak. And public comment will take place after non-legislative business. And if anyone who is here in chambers with us would like to speak, after, I think you have already signed up, but the public comment will take place after non-legislative business. So we will begin with an opening prayer by Akira Granado.
Heavenly Father, we have assembled to handle the affairs of our city. As we do so, we ask for your guidance and understanding. We pray that our city reaches a place of peace and safety. Keep us out of harm's way and bless those who are in authority. Let respect be key in all our endeavors. Amen.
Amen. Amen. At this time, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
and to the republic
for which
which
it stands,
stands
one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Present.
Councilwoman Darby, Councilwoman Darby,
Present.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Present.
Councilwoman Harley,
Present.
Councilwoman Fields,
Present.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Here.
Councilman Johnson,
Here.
Councilman Field,
Present.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Present.
Councilwoman Dixon, Councilwoman Dixon, Councilman Spadola,
Present.
Councilwoman Walsh, Councilwoman Walsh,
I believe
President
that
Congo.
Here, I believe that Councilwoman Walsh is having audio difficulties.
So are you directing me to
Yes,
mark
please.
present?
Yes, please mark her present.
Okay, what about Dixon, Councilwoman Dixon?
I have not heard from Councilmember Dixon.
Okay. With that said, Mr. President, 12 present and 1 absent.
Thank you. Reading of the minutes from the previous meeting.
September 2nd, 2021, City Council met in virtual regular session, the above date at 6:30 p.m. President Ernest M. Congo II presiding. The opening prayer was done by Kara Granado, Deputy City Clerk.
Everybody can't get on it, and Dixon can't get on this because of.
Allegiance was recited by City Council. The following members responded to the call of the roll. Council members
I
Gray,
move the minutes. I move the minutes be accepted as written.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the minutes be accepted as written. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Just want to remind all council members to please mute your phones. Committee reports.
September 7th, 2021, President, members of council of the city of Wilmington, ladies and gentlemen, we, your Finance and Economic Development Committee, by virtual meeting with anchor location, to whom was referred ordinance number 21041 entitled, an ordinance to authorize and approve a license agreement between the city of Wilmington and Environmental Systems Research Institute, Inc. Have given this ordinance careful study and recommend council vote on it accordingly. Respectfully submitted, those members present, Councilman Johnson, Councilwoman Harley, Councilman Field, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Walsh, Councilman Spadola, and President Congo.
At this time, Mr. President, I move for the committee report to be received, recorded, and filed as written.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
September 7th, 2021, we, your Finance and Economic Development Committee, by virtual meeting with anchor location, to whom was referred ordinance number 21042 entitled, an ordinance to authorize and approve a discount disposal fee agreement between the city of Wilmington and the Delaware Solid Waste Authority. I've given this ordinance careful study and recommend council vote on it accordingly. Respectfully submitted, those members present, Councilman Johnson, Councilwoman Harley, Councilman Field, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Walsh, Councilman Spadola, and President Congo.
At this time, I move for the committee report to be received, recorded, and filed as written.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the committee report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried.
September 7th, 2021, we, your Finance and Economic Development Committee, by virtual meeting with anchor location, to whom was referred ordinance number 21044 entitled, an ordinance to amend chapter 2 of the city code to require annual ethics training and to revise procedures to amend the city ethics requirements. Have given this ordinance careful study and recommend council vote on it accordingly. Respectfully submitted, those members present, Councilman Johnson, Councilwoman Harley, Councilman Field, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Walsh, Councilman Spadola, and President Congo.
I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the committee report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
September 7th, 2021, we, your Finance and Economic Development Committee, by virtual meeting with anchor location, to whom was referred ordinance number 21045 entitled, an ordinance to amend chapter 40 of the city code to change the observance of Veterans Day as a paid holiday for eligible city employees to the 11th day of November. I've given this ordinance careful study and recommend council vote on it accordingly. Respectfully submitted, those members present: Councilman Johnson, Councilwoman Harley, Councilman Field, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Walsh, Councilman Spadola, and President Congo.
At this time, I move for the committee report to be received, recorded, and filed as written.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the committee report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
That completes the committee reports, President Congo.
Okay, thank you very much. I will accept the motion to move to accept all non-legislative business.
We have the treasurer's report still to present.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I apologize. City Treasurer's report, please.
Thank you. September 16, 2021, total investment, $512,816,909.46. Total cash on hand, $11,939,100.92. Grand total, $524,756,010.38, submitted by Dwayne Sims, City Treasurer.
I move the treasurer's report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the Treasurer's report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. This time I will accept a motion to move to accept all non-legislative business.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to accept all non-legislative business. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Do any council members have any presentations this evening? I believe I see a hand raised. Councilwoman Dixon, would you like to be recognized?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, please recognize Councilwoman Dixon.
So noted.
Just a few of the resolutions that we will acknowledge from all of council. We are recognizing Hispanic Heritage Month. Also, sympathy for Tiffany Aaron Roberts. Sympathy for Damon Betts. From all of council, we would like to recognize the 27th Annual People's Festival, which is a tribute to Bob Marley. Also from all of council, we are recognizing Stan Waterman and his achievements. From Councilwoman Cabrera, sympathy resolution for Cecilia Escobar on Duplan. And from Councilwoman Walsh, sympathy resolution for Kevin Free. Also from Councilwoman Harley, sympathy resolution for Richard G. Hatfield. All right, at this time, we will go to public comment. I will start with the testing. I will start with those who are in chambers with us. Again, thank you for joining us. I'd like to call up Miss Yvonne Brown. You can come up to my left to the podium, please. We're going to ask that all public comments be limited to 3 minutes, and we will give you a friendly reminder when you have about 30 seconds left. All right, thank you. And please watch your step as you're stepping on the as you're coming up on the podium. Thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Want to make sure that that you try to speak into the microphone, please, and I believe it should be on. Thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm here to voice my concerns about the parking or lack of parking in my block, the 1400 block of West 2nd Street. And the tickets that I've received being parked there, I have a handicap parking sign and a placard. People park in my spot. I'm saying I'm on disability, not because I want to be, but because that's what it is. But it's very annoying. And I wasn't aware that street cleaning had resumed when it did. And I got a $40 ticket for that. And I didn't know that they had waived the parking ticket issues until I talked to Miss Dorsey at the hairdresser. And I tried to get it straightened out, but it wasn't corrected. I'm gonna pay it, but I mean, they should have. Everybody don't have access to the internet. I don't listen to the Wilmington's WILM, and I do not have a computer. So I wasn't aware that city cleaning had resumed. And I tried to appeal my ticket to no avail. So I came up here to pay it today. I talked to somebody. I was on the phone for over an hour talking to different people in this building. And the lady told me I could come down here and pay my ticket in person. I came down here and nobody knew nothing. So I had to go back home and ask when they had the next city council meeting so I could come and, see if they would be a little more lenient when, if this situation ever arose again, to let people know. I'm saying they have more ways of letting people know. They send you, different pieces of mail and stuff. They could have been a little bit more.
A little bit more proactive in it. Right?
Yes, exactly. And that's all I got to say. Everything else is fine. I'm fine with the city services I receive. I'm a lifelong resident of the city of Wilmington. I'm not a homeowner because I don't have a deed to the property. But I have been in this house for 13 years. It'll be 14 years in October of this year. And, I think they should be a little more considerate of people that's, that contribute to the city.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's all I have to say. And thanks for letting me have this time to
Okay.
voice
Thank
my
you.
concerns.
No, we really appreciate you coming, and please continue to engage with us. And our chief of staff will look into that for you to make sure
Thank
that
you
the
so
proper
much.
signage is there.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and council members.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I believe we have also virtually, we have someone from the public who would like to speak. Scott Elcher from the 4th District. Mr. Elcher?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you for joining us.
Sure. Thank you for having me. It's Iker, by the way. I apologize for the typo likely. So I wanted to just reach out to the council and kind of voice my opinion on the motion regarding mandatory ethics training for city employees. Having worked in an ethics investigation, ethics/enforcement capacity for 20 plus years with many companies, including DuPont and Chemours downtown here in Wilmington. I think it's a great idea to get something like this in place, understanding that it's a very small commitment of time. I think it will give the committee and give all city employees a opportunity to understand what exactly may or may not cross the line and help them stay out of trouble where they might inadvertently get into. I've seen that happen way too many times in my career, and I do love the city. I love what's become to it. I have moved down here in 2019, but I've worked on and off in Wilmington for, like I said, 21 years. And I think this will help increase transparency and also invoke more confidence in our elected officials, either appointed or otherwise. That's all I have. I don't need the full 3 minutes, but thank you for the time.
Thank you, Mr. Elcher. Thank you for joining us and engaging, and we appreciate your comments.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe that concludes our public comment. At this time, we will move to legislative business. Councilmember Gray.
Nothing this evening, Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Darby.
Nothing this evening, Council President.
Councilmember Oliver.
Yes, Mr. President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 21-041, Agenda 0093, whereas Wilmington City Code Section 2626 provides that the council shall by resolution approve the grant of any utility license, easement, or right-of-way by the Department of Public Works. And whereas Cellco Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless requested consent from the city to use certain public rights-of-way located in the city of Wilmington to construct, maintain, and operate its facilities for use in providing wireless telecommunication services.
I move this resolution been received, recorded, and filed and adopted as a yea or nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the resolution be received, recorded, and filed and adopted by a yea or nay vote. On the question.
Yes, Mr. President, this resolution will approve the license between the city and Cellco Partnership, DBA Verizon Wireless, among other things, construct and install, maintain, and operate wireless telecommunications facilities in the public right-of-ways of the city of Wilmington.
I see no hands raised from any council members. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dixon,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Walsh,
She's having some computer difficulties because I was having them on today myself.
Audio.
Councilwoman Walsh,
Can't get on.
President Congo.
Yes.
How would you like to handle that? Because I see that she's on somewhere. I see
Yes,
her.
if she's not able to voice her vote,
Okay.
we won't be able to voice it for her.
Mr. President, I believe
I think
Councilwoman
she's on.
Walsh just joined her audio.
Okay, Councilwoman Walsh, we're on Resolution 21041.
21041, is it the vote?
Yes. Is it a yes or nay? This is on the Verizon Wireless Agreement.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. President, 13 yeas with that?
Yes, declare adopted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. President, I have another, I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 21041, Agenda 0088, in order to authorize and approve a license agreement between the City of Wilmington and Environmental Systems Research Institute, Inc. A reading. Councilwoman Oliver.
Councilman Oliver.
I'm sorry. I move this be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for a yea and nay vote. I'm sorry for my computer.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for a yea or nay vote. On the question.
Yes, Mr. President, this ordinance authorized the execution of the license agreement between the City of Wilmington and Environmental System Research, Inc. For the access of software to apply geographical information system technology to many operational technicians areas, to the areas within the City of Wilmington for the period of 3 years from September 2022, 2021 through September 21st, 2024.
Thank you. Seeing no hands raised. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Yeah.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes. Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Woman Dixon,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Walsh,
Yes.
President Congo,
Yes.
13 yeas.
Declared adopted. Again, just want to remind council members to please mute your phones after your vote. Please mute your phones after your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. President, I have, let's see, that was, yeah, I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 21-042, Agenda 0089, an ordinance to authorize and approve a discount disposal fee agreement between the City of Wilmington and the Delaware Solid Waste Authority. Third reading.
I move this be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and called for a yea and nay vote on the question.
Yes, this ordinance is being presented by the administration for council's review and approval. The ordinance authorizes the execution for a discounted disposal fees agreement between the City of Wilmington and Delaware Solid Waste Authority, or the date period would be 3 years from July the 21st, 2001 through June the 30th, 2024. I apologize for the computer difficulties.
All right, thank you. Seeing no hands raised from council. Just want to make sure. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Yeah.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dixon,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Walsh,
Yes.
President Congo,
Yes.
13 yeas.
Declared adopted.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's all I have tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Fields.
Harley.
I'm sorry, Councilmember Harley.
Yes, Mr. President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 21-042, Agenda 0094, whereas on July 8, 2021, ordinance number 21-040 was introduced before the Wilmington City Council proposing to amend Chapter 48 of the City Code regarding uses permitted in the W4 waterfront residential and commercial zoning districts and parking lot landscaping requirements for all waterfront zoning districts.
I move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed and adopted by yea and nay vote.
Second. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by yea and nay vote on the question.
Oh, yes, Mr. President. This resolution schedules a public hearing on October the 7th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. in the City Council chambers regarding ordinance number 21-40, proposing amendments to Chapter 48 of the City Code regarding uses permitted in the W4 residential commercial zoning district and parking lot landscaping requirements for all waterfront zoning districts. This is in accordance with the enactment of Delaware General Assembly Senate Bill 94. Members of the public will be allowed to participate in the public hearing, either in person in the council chambers or virtually. The instructions to access the public hearing virtually will be included on the agenda for the October 7th, 2021 council meeting. And I just want to say that at a high level, this legislation pretty much is to enact and to work with the Riverfront East as they put in the infrastructure and the landscaping for Riverfront East, which is on the South Market Corridor.
As we know, the South Market corridor is not the same highway as our highways like on Concord Pike or 202. And this legislation has a lot to do with infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Harley. I'm seeing no hands raised. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Yeah.
Councilwoman Darby,
Yeah.
Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Oliver,
He's on mute.
Councilwoman Harley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dixon,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Walsh,
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Councilwoman Oliver. Is she still on? Councilwoman Oliver. Okay, President Congo,
Yes.
12 yeas and 1 absent.
Declared adopted. Thank you, Councilwoman Harley. Councilmember Fields.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
Mr. President, I think you skipped over 6th District.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Councilmember McCoy.
Nothing tonight, President Ganga.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
Yes, Mr. President. I have an ordinance to present and call for third and final reading.
Ordinance 21-045, Agenda 0091, an ordinance to amend Chapter 40 of the City Code to change the observance of Veterans Day as a paid holiday for eligible city employees to the 11th day of November. Third reading.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the enacting clause, the ordinance, and call for a yea/nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and called for a yea or nay vote on the question.
Yes, Mr. President, this is just a cleanup ordinance to finally get the city in line with the rest of the state in having Veterans Day observed in November instead of the arbitrary day it was in October. It helps with childcare, helps with other services, so everyone is in line, especially trash pickup.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Johnson. Seeing no hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby, Councilwoman Darby,
Yes.
thank you. Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dixon,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Walsh,
Yes.
President Congo,
Yes.
13 yeas.
Declared adopted.
Mr. President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 21-043, Agenda 0095, whereas City Council has enacted provisions set forth in Chapter 2 of the City Code constituting the city's code of conduct.
At this time, I move for this resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea/nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that this resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote on the question.
This resolution is simply reappointing the current Wilmington Ethics Board. Their term actually expired this month, at the end of the month. This is a housekeeping matter, and so far it is to reappoint Attorney William Johnston as chairman. Ms. Catherine Cloco, Faith Messenger Patet, Melvin Phillips, and retired Judge Charles Tolliver. And it will be effective as of today, and they will be looking forward to a new term if our council is in support of the appointment.
All right, thank you. And seeing no hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dixon,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Walsh,
Yes.
President Congo,
Yes,
13 yeas.
declared adopted.
Thank you, Minister President. That concludes my items for the evening.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Field,
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Nothing this evening, sir.
Councilmember Dixon,
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Councilmember Spadola.
Yes, Council President. Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 21044, agenda 0090, an ordinance to amend chapter 2 of the city code to require annual ethics training to revise the procedures to amend the city ethics requirement. Third reading of ordinance.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and called for a yea and nay vote on the question.
Can I proceed, Council President?
Yes.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I appreciate everyone's time tonight, to the members of the public that are listening, to the support that I've received, talking about this from the people, with the people. So what are we talking about? We are talking about ethics training for elected officials, for council, the mayor, the treasurer, and all city employees. What does that ethics training look like? We all went through it to our commendation. We all went through it. We learned about what is an abuse of office, what is a conflict of interest, and what is a prohibited political activity. I thought it was very good training. And, again, I think it was great that everybody went through it. So why this legislation? Well, one, full-time employees are currently not given this training. We have employees in the city that are dealing with millions and millions of dollars of contracts, queuing them up before we go to vote on them. And they are not necessarily taught about what a conflict of interest is. They might have a business interest in the business that they're preparing the contract for. And if they weren't trained on how to identify that conflict of interest, it's hard to fault them for not knowing that. So this would prevent a lot of unintentional breaches of trust of the public. And I think as elected officials, it's important for ethics to be ever present in our mind. That's why I'm asking this. That's why this legislation asks for all elected officials to watch a 30-minute annual refresher training at your convenience anytime throughout the year. This way you're up to date on the latest and greatest practices, and also perhaps any changes in state law that might affect our ethics code, as well as any changes in federal law. This is keeping with annual training requirements of many corporations, as the speaker during public comment mentioned. I can think of, my past lives, you had annual training on sexual harassment, non-discrimination. I think as, elected officials, as holder of the purse strings to millions and millions of dollars, I think we can help grow the public trust in ourselves as a body by really doing a minimal amount of work and just attending a refresher. So one thing that I am going to take out of the legislation is originally it called for a 90-day any future legislation that would affect the ethics section. It asked for a 90-day freeze so the Ethics Commission could comment. Based on a lot of feedback from council members, I am going to Council President, at your pleasure, I'd like to introduce a motion to remove that entirely.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. So this floor amendment would amend ordinance 21-044 to remove the section that would have required the Ethics Commission to have been provided with an opportunity to review and provide recommendations on any proposed amendment to the ethics requirement prior to City Council proceeding with the adoption of the amendment. Can I get very technical here?
Yes, please.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion on page 1, title, to strike the portion of the title that reads, "and to revise the procedure to amend the city ethics requirement." On page 1 in the second whereas clause, to insert the phrase "some of" in front of the phrase "which are incorporated" into the ordinance into the second whereas clause. On page 1 in the sixth whereas clause, strike it in its entirety. On pages 1 to 2 in the seventh whereas clause, insert a period after the term "city employees" and strike the remainder of the seventh whereas clause. And on page 2, section 1, strike section 1 in its entirety and renumber current sections 2, 3, and 4 of the ordinance as sections 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Thank you, Council President. That is my motion.
I second the motion.
It's been motioned and second to amend the ordinance. I'd like to take a roll call vote on the question.
Yeah,
I do see some
Mr.
hands raised. So I will start with Councilwoman Gray.
Thank you, Mr. President. I must say, I wholeheartedly agree with this ordinance, and I agree with the sponsor, Councilman Spadola. In my former lives, I've always had to take ethics training and refreshers also. And we as elected officials should be held to a higher standard. As he pointed out, we handle thousands of dollars of taxpayers' money. And this is necessary for us to realize if we have any conflicts. And the refresher is necessary also because over the course of 4 years, you may have different affiliations, different family members, different stock, and the refresher reminds you of a possible conflict. So I'm wholeheartedly for mandatory ethics training and the refresher. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to remind council members that we are speaking to the amendment. So please make your remarks. If you have any remarks, please speak to the amendment. Council member Carrera.
I just wanted to say that I do support this wholeheartedly. I think that transparency is of the utmost importance. I mean, I just got done taking 3 different ethics training for the different work that I do. So I think that everyone that is in a position of public trust should definitely have this training. So I just want to say thank you for presenting it.
Thank you, Councilwoman Harley.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So again, I want to piggyback off of what has already been said as it relates to ethics training. I'm a compliance lead auditor for DuPont, and ethics training, ethics, good policy, good governance is 100% what I'm committed to doing and embracing. Transparency, doing the right thing and doing it the right way has always been one of my core competencies. However, I'm glad to hear that the section 1 is being striked out, because when I learned about this legislation, I heard that it was about ethics training. But when I read the legislation, it did not only include legislation, but there's other provisions, such as the one that's being striked out, that concern me, and it concerned me very, very strongly. Like I said, ethics training 100%, I'm for it, support it, and I'm glad that we are implementing this as a requirement. But what I did not support and what I did not agree with was giving the Ethics Commission more autonomy and authority over this legislative body. That particular clause that was striked out, if you read the language in it, it basically gave the Ethics Committee the authority to review and make recommendations, and to allow our legislation to be held up until a review and a recommendation was made. I greatly admire our Ethics Commission, and I really admire what they stand for, but we are the lawmaking body, and there should not be any department, any commission, or any committee telling us what we should do. So I'm very happy to hear that this has been striked out so we can do the right thing and we are doing it the right way. So thank you, Councilmember Spadola, for this amendment and removing that provision. Thank you.
And thank you for speaking to the amendment. Again, I just want to remind everyone to please that we are speaking to the amendment. And also, before we go to Council Member Walsh, for Councilman Spadola, I believe that you left out the final amendment. I'm not sure if that is a mistake or was it intentional on page 4.
I probably left it out. Can you refresh my memory, Council
Yes.
President?
On page 4, the synopsis, strike the second sentence of the synopsis in its entirety.
What does the line actually read there?
Give me one moment.
It's in addition.
The language that I read was submitted by the
All right.
law department. So
It says, it reads, in addition, this ordinance creates a new procedure for amending the city's ethics rules to provide an opportunity for the Wilmington Ethics Commission to review and make recommendations on such proposed amendments. Finally, as a housekeeping matter, this ordinance deletes some of the language from and adds some language to the City Code Section 2-345A to clarify the jurisdiction of the Wilmington Ethics Commission as established by City Code Section 2-343.
yes, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that should all be taken out.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This time, Councilmember Walsh.
Yes, I had a question first, Mr. President. And that is this are these the only amendments that the sponsor is doing?
Councilman Spadola, you can respond.
Yes.
This is it?
Yes.
I will tell you what my problem is with the amendment. And that is, I think you could do these amendments and introduce this in October so that council members could have a clean copy in front of them. You wouldn't have to reintroduce the bill. You wouldn't have to do any of the above. You could simply amend it and bring it up and we would vote on it, but we would all be looking at a clean version of the bill rather than all of the things that were mentioned in the email that we received and having to piece it together. And not saying that we couldn't do that, but there is only so much time with certain things too. And what I was upset about this, well, we're speaking on the amendment. I'll wait to speak on the bill itself.
Yes, thank you. And seeing no more.
Now, Mr. President, my hand is up. I'm having computer difficulties.
Okay, Councilwoman Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also, because I'm having computer difficulty, I also agree with Councilwoman Walsh. I would ask the sponsor just to hold this. I definitely believe in ethics training without a doubt, but if he can hold it so we can get a clean copy. It's been a lot going on today with this bill amendments, and it's okay to receive some stuff at the last minute, but that's a lot to process. And I remember seeing something in the bill regarding councils, something, but I'm not able to see if it was striked or whatever, because that was a whole nother section. So for me, I would ask the sponsor just to hold it as Councilwoman Walsh said, and just give us a clean copy and everybody's on the same page so I could feel comfortable, because there was something in there and I don't even know if it was striked or not because I'm having computer difficulties. I'm not even able to see it. So I would just ask the sponsor just to hold it and let's just bring it back fresh. And you will definitely have my vote. It's no problem. I just like to see a clean copy because we striked a lot out today. A lot of different sections. So it's not clear. That's all.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you, Councilwoman Oliver. Councilman Spadola.
Council President, I'm willing to hold the legislation in light of those comments.
Thank you.
Thank you, council member.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Spadola. So we are going to hold Councilman Spadola's legislation this evening.
It's nice.
So noted. Thank you.
Any other legislation, Councilman Spadola?
Nothing tonight, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Walsh.
No legislation this evening. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. At this time, we will move to petitions and communication, starting with Councilmember Gray.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a little housekeeping for the first district and possibly second district. I had a very involved and productive conversation with Mr. Smith, the new head of Parks and Recreation, and we discussed the renovation of Haynes Park. And I know that there are a lot of people in the second and first district that use Haynes Park, especially the tennis courts and the basketball courts. And they are going to be renovated. I can't seem to get a date or even a date of when they're going to start, but I was assured that it's going to be done. So if you're interested, please send me an email or maybe send an email to Mr. Smith and encourage him. Community input is always helpful. Also, I need to say to those residents that live around Washington Street and East and West Matson Run, the 3-year project of finishing the bollards is still in the process, and I can't get a date for when that will be finished either. But it's been 3 years, so we'll see. So that's just the update that I have. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Darby.
No announcements for tonight, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Oliver.
Yes, Mr. President. First, I would just like to thank all the frontline workers for coming together for the disaster we had over the Labor Day weekend. A lot of individuals think it was just over 11th Street Bridge that got hit hard, but it was a lot of residents throughout the city of Wilmington who lost a lot during that tornado. So I'd like to give thanks to, L&I, Public Works, and Emergency Management. And it was just so many of them that Red Cross, so many, I can't name them all, but all the frontline workers, firefighters, all of you guys, I like to give kudos to outstanding job, especially, and I have to give credit to Jeff Starkey and Mr. Willie Patrick, who was out there. I was out there for about 5 or 6 days, and I know they were out there much longer. And a lot of residents were telling me they felt comfortable in seeing some people that they know. And it's just unfortunate that we have no answer to this because it was unexpected, and a lot of people are still trying to deal with their policies, and it is sad. But the next announcement I would like to make is I would like to thank the HELP organization from Dover that works very closely with Lisa Blunt Rochester and Chris Coons, who came out and put in lighting on the east side. It's an outstanding organization. I just like to thank Mr. Charles and Mr. Hurl for outstanding job they did with the lighting up on the east side. And another announcement would be this Saturday. No, I'm away, and that Councilwoman Harley talk about that. Thank you. That'll be all this evening, Mr. President. Thank you. And thanks to James Pathola for holding that. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Councilwoman Harley. Councilwoman Harley.
Yes, I was on mute. Thank you, Mr. President. And I too want to thank my council colleague for holding the legislation for the reasons that were mentioned. But my announcement is to let the community know that on this coming Saturday, the 25th Annual African American Family Festival and Taste of Africa is going to take place at Herman Holloway Park from 12 o'clock noon until 7 o'clock p.m. Herman Holloway Park is on 7th and Lombard Streets. And what's going to be going on, they're going to have the drum call. They're going to have remarks by yours truly and Councilmember Oliver. They're going to have open mic for local rappers, spoken word for those children, youth, and adults that want to come and exercise your voice tools and just have some fun. We're inviting you to come on down. It's going to also be a memorial concert in recognition of the 55th anniversary of the death of Clifford Brown, featuring Tony Big Cat Smith and Friends, for those of you that are familiar with this particular group. And it's going to be dancing in the grass to the music of the Full Effect Band. And we're also going to be doing vaccinations. They're going to have vaccination stations there. And so it's just going to be a great time. But for those that are going to come and if you're interested in getting COVID vaccinations, please bring your ID. And there's also going to be voter registration, and there's also going to be food and vendors. So it's going to be an awesome day on Saturday. It is the 25th annual, and we're inviting everyone, that is available to come down. Again, it's this Saturday at Herman Holloway Park. It starts at 12 and it ends at 7:00 p.m. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Fields.
Thank you, Council President. I don't have any, I don't have anything to bring up, but I like my quotes. So I want to say the World Candle Month quote: "Go light your world. There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings fire, ignites a candle. Run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world." And that is just in remembrance of the National Hispanic Month as well. That's all I have, President Congo. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilwoman McCoy.
Thank you, President Congo. I would just like to say thank you to the community that actually had events just passed. One was on the 3rd, which was Hedgeville. They had a community day, and it was a great turnout. Kids totally enjoyed themselves. And then, so the president of Hedgeville is Yvonne L. Murray. So I'd like to thank her and her board for putting that together. And then also Browntown actually had something just last weekend. In Browntown, I believe it's a civic association, but it's more so Doreen Robinson who actually had put that together. So not only did she give the community a place to gather, she encouraged the Wilmington Fire Department to come out, and they actually came in and went and did smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors through the area. Browntown, I think they actually went to 139 houses. So I'd like to thank all of Browntown for participating, and most definitely the Wilmington firefighters for making certain that our area is safe. The last thing I just wanted to do, I'm sorry, my phone is ringing in the background. The last thing I wanted to do was make certain that people are aware that we will be having a meeting next week on September 21st. It's going to be at 6:30. Hedgeville Civic Association will be having a meeting at the Youth Empowerment Center, which is at 1009 Sycamore Street. I hope that we will be serving refreshments. The agenda is basically talking about that program, whether or not you do need to have a smoke detector, and also the City of Wilmington's water bill assistance. People need to make certain that if they need assistance for their utilities, that they come to this meeting, because we will have someone who actually will speak to it. So that's basically it. And I invite everyone in the district, not just Hedgeville, to come to that meeting. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Johnson.
I have no items tonight, Mr. President. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Field.
Nothing to add, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Cabrera.
Yes, Mr. President. First, I would like to thank everyone who came out to help us launch Hispanic Heritage Month. At the short and press conference that we had, we kept it safe, COVID safe, so only a few people were invited. As the Latin American Community Center, the Executive Director, Maria Matos, kicked off Hispanic Heritage Month, along with our elected officials, our city council members, our governor, and our county executive that were all there, and our lieutenant governor. and we had a successful parade and mini festival right there on Calle Cuatro on 4th Street. And I'd like to thank my council colleague, Brigida Fields, Council Member Brigida Fields, and President Congo for helping us host and announce the lineup as people came down. It was great to see community coming together, especially after the pandemic closed so many things last year. Of course, we're still exercising caution. In the spirit of continuing with Hispanic Heritage Month, this Sunday there is a festival at the riverfront. It's going to be near Frawley Stadium. It's being put together with the radio station La Máxima 104.1 FM and Nuestras Raíces. They are working together to present the festival. It starts at 11 a.m. It goes through the evening. So I do encourage Wilmingtonians to come out, enjoy, help us celebrate. As you well know, we'll have some good food, some great music. There's actually some pretty big headliners coming to that event. So you're all welcome to attend. I hope to see my colleagues there and help us kick it off early in the day if you would. I also want to remind folks, it's going to be 40 years since the AIDS epidemic started. And the walking began 35 years ago. This year on Saturday, this body of council will be walking in the AIDS Walk, which is going to start on North Park Drive near the Brandywine Zoo and the Josephine Fountains. We're going to be there together as a team to continue to raise money to hopefully get rid of this disease altogether. But we've come a long way. There's less cases. There's been advances in medicine thanks to the research and the money that has been raised, but there's still much work to be done. As of now, the organization has raised about $82,629, up $90,000. So there's still more money to be raised. So I do encourage people, it's not too late for you to sign up to walk in the AIDS Walk this Saturday at 9 a.m. and join us, your members of City Council, as we are collaborating together for another City Council event as we strive to be a strong and unified council as we're serving you. So with that, I would say let's continue to celebrar el mes de herencia de hispanidad, continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, and please call us if you have any concerns or issues. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilwoman Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a few quick announcements. This Saturday, seems like a lot is going on. There's open streets on Delaware Avenue is happening. And it will be happening from 9 a.m. to 12. And we'll be having tons of different activities from free bike repairs to climb the tower at Rockford Park, live music with Lady, a mobile coffee shop. There'll be some play streets activities as well also there, martial arts, kids activities, help initiative. So it'll be a great time. So please come out to that if you're available to come. I know also we have our Health, Aging, and Disabilities Committee meeting that will be this Wednesday, upcoming Wednesday at 5 p.m. And we also have Southbridge is releasing their action plan this upcoming Tuesday and Thursday this week. And the Tuesday, it'll be presented at Neighborhood House during their Southbridge Civic Association meeting at 6 p.m. And then they're offering a virtual option on Thursday. I will say they did a commendable job of putting together a very detailed plan. And as I'm sure Councilwoman Harley can agree, it was definitely a nice and detailed plan that they put together. So it'll be good to hear their outcomes from that activity. And then I think Victoria's Church is also having in the second district is having a event on Saturday as well. And that's from 1 to 3. And that's right off of, their church is right off of Concord Avenue. So that will be all my announcements for this evening. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Councilman Spadola.
Nothing tonight, Council President. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I believe that Councilwoman Walsh is having audio difficulties. So at this time, just have a few announcements. Again, I just want to thank everyone for joining us either virtually or in council chambers. We just want to remind everyone that the chambers are again reopened. So if you prefer to come down and give public comment or just to be a part of the council meeting, you can do so in the city council, in the city county building. You can also, we are going to continue to have a hybrid model. We can also join in virtually for those who prefer to, just to be safer and still engage. So again, I just want to thank everyone who has taken advantage of council chambers reopening. And we appreciate all of your comments and your concerns. I hope we can together make our city better. HBCU week is going to start October 1st. It's going to kick off with a comedy show featuring Wanda Sykes at the Laugh House. So please get your tickets. They are going extremely fast. And again, proceeds will benefit HBCUs and scholarships. And I just want to say that I'm a proud graduate of the best HBCU in the country. You heard that right, Councilwoman Fields.
I have to agree. You have to disagree.
You said it right the first time. You have to agree. Delaware State University. Shout out to Tony Allen and everything that he is doing just to keep Delaware State University rising to the top. Also on September 23rd, we're going to have our second redistricting committee meeting. We ask you to please engage, and if you can, please just give us your comments and your feedback. We want the public to be a part of this this effort that City Council is going to go through for the next few months. We will recommend redistricting lines by February of 2022. But again, we want your feedback and we want your input to make sure that things are done according to the way that they should be done. So for that, we want your participation. Also, regarding the flooding, I know that the Department of Emergency Management has requested that if any contractors or electricians can donate or volunteer your time, please call us at the City Council office and we can connect you to them. Again, I want to thank Director Willie Patrick and his entire team and everyone who works with the City of Wilmington and also the community for the way they all came through and helped that effort. It's been amazing, but your help is still needed. So please, if you can volunteer, any contractors or electricians, please call us at the City Council office at 576-2140, and we will connect you to the correct departments. And I think also Councilwoman Cabrera did mention our One Council event this Saturday. Also want to mention that there will be free COVID testing down at the Brandywine during the walk, and also free COVID-19 vaccinations. So again, just please join us this Saturday. It's going to be a great time. The weather is supposed to be good. And I also want to talk about the Hispanic Festival that happened last week. It was incredible. The energy was awesome. The dancers were, can't even put into words the energy that Hispanic parade brought to the city. So I want to thank all of the organizers, the dancers, but by far, hands down, the best dancer was me on the stage. I totally outdanced Councilwoman Cabrera and Councilwoman and Councilwoman Fields.
That is not true. Not go on right. That goes on record.
It was a great time. So again, thank you to everyone who made that happen, and looking forward to celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with the entire community for the rest of this month. And with that, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So
Moved.
Second. There we go.
All right, it's been properly moved and second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Have a good night.
Bring your gold.
Bye.
Right.
he did dance well.
He did all right.
He did good.
You all did good.
You know, he's a Latino at heart. Can't find how do I get out of here?